This is a story about redemption.
This is the story of a girl.
Or something like that. So wild. Like, take 10 weeks off and strength train, literally bench press, and then come back and on-site my hardest route ever and redpoint my hardest route ever. Wild. If you're new here, here's what you need to know. I set out to spend 2024 entirely focused on getting better at climbing. And I made it to May before I broke my toe running inside my own apartment. But no success story is without hurdles, right? So, more determined than ever, I trained my ass off, rehabbed that injury, and nearly sent my hardest route ever. In fact, I fell on the very last hard move, right before going on a 2-week trip. But that's still pretty positive, and I went on the trip and managed to on-site my first 12A. Sick! Only to literally fall in a river 2 days later and give myself a grade 2 collateral ligament sprain. It's like something from a movie, except it's my real life. Nevertheless, I continued, training my little face off, determined to make this time count for something. And this video is about what happened next. Okay, so a couple of days ago, I finally got back on the proj, i.e. the route that I very nearly sent before I went to 10 sleep.
I thought that I would just go on a trip for a couple of weeks, come back and fire it. Only obviously I hurt my finger and that is not what happened.
So after, I'm gonna say like 2 months, at least 2 months between trying the route, I got back on it 3 days ago. So let's go back 3 days and see how that session went. This is the route in question. It is a 12D slab called Militia, and it is sick. And this is the crux, which of course is super intense on the exact finger that I hurt. I hadn't dared even try the route despite being back to climbing in general for this reason.
That's like the first move. None of my shit is ticked.
I did manage to do all the moves though, which was freaking great. I really, really wanted to get back on this route this season.
Okay, that was good. Definitely hurts. It was like 2 sections. This though is super intense on my finger.
I could only try the move in question 3 times in the entire session before my finger said no. But still, that felt like a win given that I hadn't been able to try it at all. And that wasn't the only win either.
Nice ride. Thanks.
I went up the rest of the route to remember all of my beta and tick things, and
Interesting. I did that same beta. I actually kind of like it. You like it better? I think so. This is like very, very helpful. Oh my god, that is so sick. Hell yeah. That was so easy. Yeah, take. Oh my god!
yep, I discovered better beta for the very top, i.e. the move that I fell on. So between actually being able to do the moves with my finger and this newly discovered better beta, my chances went from giant question mark to actually pretty good. There was one catch though. There always is. I go to the New River Gorge in 2 weeks, and when I get back from that trip, it's gonna be too cold for that route. Yeah. So basically I have 2 weeks to send the thing if I want to do it this season. Yep. After all those injuries and all that work, I ended up with just 2 weeks to try and send the thing between my finger feeling ready enough and leaving for another trip. So today I'm gonna try and send it, or I'm gonna start trying to send it. Today is redpoint goes. I feel like I've put the time into this route. I can send it. It's definitely like in the realm of possible. I would just really like to actually do it and finish it this season. I have today, and I have probably a handful more sessions if my finger holds up okay. Obviously, the longer it takes, the more stressful it is. But I do love the route, and climbing on it is just an absolute joy. Like, it's so nice. It's such a nice route, and it's so my style. But yeah, wish me luck. I'll let you see how that went. That clip is the end of the first crux. And after a bit more chill climbing, you get a full no hands rest.
I'm gonna rest here for like a while.
If you've watched my other videos, you may already know that I am a chronic shoe taker offer at a rester, much to my belayers' collective despair. But hey, when you're on the go, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay, Romeo.
Got you. Yeah, here. Present. We're watching you. We may be talking about you, but we're watching you.
And now I'm fully through the second crux. There's just the one that I fell on last time yet to go.
Yeah, gotcha. You got this, Haley.
And this is the section where I found the new, better beta. This clip, guys, is the end of the hard climbing. And it's the last clip before the anchor.
Let's go! Nice! Oh yeah, nice.
Oh my god! Hell yeah!
We're going to Vera Thai, right?
No, Maggie's middle.
I totally split my tip open, so let it fall.
Nice. Are those your quick drops?
Yeah, I can clean them.
Sick.
Thanks to the cat, I felt like you were very patient.
I paid attention the whole time.
Thank you, Mom.
So yeah, I freaking did it, which is insane. Like, what a journey to get here. This is my friend Andrew, who was in a similar position, pretty close on his proj and imminently about to go on a 2-week trip. How did he fare?
Come on, let's get it, Andrew. Eyeball that shit. Do that. Get it. Go.
It kinda sucked that he didn't send, so we couldn't both celebrate. But we made do, especially given that it was our other friend Andrew's birthday. A perfect recipe for an evening of joy and embarrassment.
Happy birthday!
The next day.
Sending isn't everything, but sure feels good. I was walking on clouds, obviously, for at least a good week after that. I got back in the gym and just, resumed regular life without having to worry about whether I was going to do the route or not. That meant I actually had some time to prepare for my trip to the new, which was unsurprisingly infinitely better than stress limit projecting right before a trip. And then 6 days later, I finally had something to say about it. Actually, I had quite a lot to say, but I think it's pretty interesting. It's not so often that you have such low lows and such high highs. So, I sent. Crazy. And I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because it's kind of nuts. Like, I barely climbed this season. I was out for a total of 10 weeks, as in 10 weeks zero climbing.
And then when I was climbing, there were a number of weeks where I was like getting fitness back and remembering how to move on rock and all that kind of stuff.
So in a season plagued by injuries, I somehow managed to on-site my hardest route ever.
Oh, hey.
And redpoint my hardest route ever. Like, what? That's crazy. Yeah, and it feels really good. So I'm just gonna talk about like how I did that. So when I hurt my toe and I was told it would take 6 weeks, I thought, okay, well, 6 weeks is enough time to make actual gains. So I can use this time for good.
And like, yes, maybe it wouldn't be better than actually climbing, but I was going to do everything I could to make it like worthwhile.
So I did that. I came back from the toe, I got back in shape, and then went on a trip to 10 Sleep where I was trying to on-site my first 512, which I did. I mean, that alone was like kind of nuts, And then I think it was 2 days after that, I fell in the river at 10 Sleep, messed up my finger and couldn't climb anymore. And basically it was another 5 weeks of no climbing, which was just like devastating, obviously. I had worked so hard, like during the broken toe time, like it sucked. It was a grind and it was miserable and I hated it. Having an injured finger though is definitely like a little more palatable in the general scheme of life. So I was like, okay, well, I've already got this 6 weeks of training under my belt, and if I add another 5-6 weeks to it, whatever, it has like a cumulative effect and I can make some like bigger gains, even though that was not what I wanted to do.
I wanted to take my like newfound shape and fitness and freaking crush the 12D that I fell on the last hard move of right before the trip.
And want to wait literally months to be able to try that route again. But yeah, that's what I did. I just trained like an absolute animal. I did
a lower body session, an upper body session, a rest day, a full body session, a rest day, repeat.
So it was like a 5-day cycle. And I was doing cardio every single day for 60 to 90 minutes. And I got way stronger. I have definitely put on some muscle and all of my numbers have gone up and I'm maybe fitter than I've ever been and I feel great. And then coming back to climbing this time, I could really feel that extra strength on the wall, like kind of straight away. Like it was like pretty different. And that was freaking cool to have such a obvious improvement despite not climbing. Again, not fun. Like, not how I would have chosen to spend my summer, but undeniably helpful for my climbing. I'm stoked, and I feel like I really made that time that I was injured count, and it was fucking hard. It was like all of the work and none of the fun, but I just kept on grinding. I believed that like it would be worth it, and it was, and I'm just like so happy. And it just goes to show that if you get injured and when you get injured, it's not like your progress has to stop. You can do some stuff when you're injured so that you come back and you feel great. And even if you have some bad luck,
like I did.
you can make that work in your favor. It's really like up to you to choose what you want to do with that and how you're going to use that opportunity. Because climbing less or not at all is an opportunity, right? Because there's only so much training that you have.
Time for, and the energy for, and the recovery capacity for.
So if you're not climbing or you're climbing a lot less, all of a sudden you have all of this time, energy, and ability to recover. And that is an opportunity. So use it. Like, hopefully I can convince somebody else to use it, because it really couldn't have gone any better than this. Psyched. If you liked this video, subscribe so that you'll see the next one. It's going to be all about my trip to the new, and let me tell you, it was so sick. Comeback Tour 2024. So, hopefully see you then. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Peace.